Hey, what's up? This is Sully from Godsmack. Strap on those boots, baby, because you are now in the trenches of the war room with the one and only Mistress Carrie right here on the Mistress Carrie podcast.
What's up? This is Joe Rogan, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Her hair so lovely, pretty eyes.
Hey, this is Brent from Shinedown, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie. Hey, Carrie, go put your bra on, girl.
Hey, this is Steven Tyler, and you be listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
What's up? This is Aaron from Stain, and you're listening to Mistress Carrie.
Hi, everybody. This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, and you're listening to the one, the only Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is David from the band Disturbed, and you're listening to the baddest bitch in Boston, Mistress Carrie.
Hi, Bruce Dickinson here from Iron Maiden. Yes, indeed, Miss Whiplash herself, Mistress Carrie, is here to unchain your brain.
Hi, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're listening to Mistress Carrie.
This is Dennis Leary. You are listening to my favorite, Mistress Carrie.
Hey, this is Corey from Stone Sour, and you have the privilege of listening to Mistress Carrie. Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Mistress Carrie, reporting for duty from MCHQ for episode 325 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. My guest this week is singer and guitarist Daniela Villarreal Velez. 1/3 of the band she shares with her sisters, The Warning. The band's 5th full-length studio album, Everything's Falling, comes out this Friday, August 28th. This is Danny's second appearance on the podcast, and she returns without her sisters to talk about the band's new album, touring in extreme heat, and the pressures of playing in a 3-piece band. Also hitting the road with Youngblood Sueritos, embracing their femininity on the new album, how their extended family is handling their success, playing festivals, social media, growing up in the public eye, their concert film, and so much more. Danny's first appearance on the show was May 29th, 2024, and I said it then, and I'll say it again now. This is a band you need to keep your eyes on. So allow me to reintroduce you to Daniela Villarreal Velez from The Warning. Danny, it's so good to see you.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me.
You look wonderful. Are you off right now?
Yes, for a little bit. I'm home. I'm at peace, but rehearsing the hell out of the new album.
Where is home? Monterrey?
Yes, Monterrey, Mexico.
So you're back relaxing. I know you guys are hitting the road in a couple weeks.
Yes, well, in a week, I think. Yes. No, we're going to South Korea for the very first time and playing a festival in Japan for the very first time as well. So a lot of big firsts.
The last time you were on the show, which I had to look up, was back in May of 2024. It was right before Keep Me Fed came out. And we were talking about all the traveling that you guys had done internationally. I hear the food in South Korea is amazing, but I've never been.
Yeah, no, I've never been either. And we have a very big South Korean community over here in Monterrey, Mexico. And yeah, I know. But there's Monterrey is a very industrial city, and they have car plants over here. Hyundai and Kia. They're both South Korean brands, and we have a very big community of South Koreans living in Monterrey, Mexico, and their food is amazing. A lot of restaurants opened up, and yes, I'm excited to also try it from the source, in Seoul.
It's really interesting how industry can drive pockets of immigration, because even though I live just outside of Boston, there were so many industrial jobs open in my town that we have a massive Puerto Rican population because people came from Puerto Rico for these jobs. And so there are all of these great Puerto Rican restaurants and delis. And it's crazy that you would not expect this pocket of little Puerto Rico to be in central Massachusetts. So it is interesting that you've got a pocket of South Korea in Monterrey, Mexico.
Yes. No, it's lovely. And now that we're going to visit Seoul over there and just experience it for the very first time, we're very excited.
Before we talk about the new album and the tour, I obviously want to ask how Pau is doing because obviously
Right.
we heard she was ill and so just how is she? Is everything okay?
She is great, better than ever. But yeah, we caught a weird flu over there, and it was very, very hot. There were very hot days, and that particular venue had no windows or ventilation, so the oxygen level was very low for everyone. So that was a direct consequence of that. There was also some people in the audience who fainted as well, and we hope that they're okay. But overall, that was a very, hard day to be a high energy band in a low oxygen room for sure.
Well, we talked about it when you were on the show before that when you're in a trio, there's no place to hide on stage because everybody's pulling double duty and then some. And for a drummer to also be a singer, I watch singing drummers and I don't understand how the hell they are able to sing while they're playing the drums like that because they're as a guitarist that sings, you've got to look at your sister back there and go, how the hell are you doing that?
No, even singing, it's a very, however gravity pulls you, it's a very big thing to sing standing up. So sitting down, even starting from there, is such a big challenge while moving your four limbs in different ways and balancing yourself in your core and breathing. It must be like an insane thing to do. And actually, Pau told us it was right after a song she sings lead in that happened immediately after. Like it was so much effort for the breathing to sing and the low oxygen and the flu that she had on top of it. And we had a full headlining show the day before. So everything just kind of like manifested itself into that fainting episode.
When I saw the news, I assumed it was an exhaustion thing because you guys have been out straight. You have been, I feel like every other day there's something in the news about something you guys are doing. Since the last time I talked to you, how are you handling? I know you guys are not an overnight success. This is your fifth album coming out, but I feel like since Keep Me Fed to now, the trajectory of The Warning is just nuts.
Thank you so much. No, and we're working, like we have not stopped at all. And we just kind of went into that mentality of, I think we shouldn't. If we kind of like brave through this, rush into what is becoming the era for this album, we can really, get to a point where we've been wanting to get for as long as we've been a band, which is almost nearing 12 years, which is insane. But yeah, no, we haven't stopped. We've gotten used to it. We do have a lot of different boundaries and limitations now, health-wise, of how much pockets in between tours we should have. Because even though the touring is very intense, when we get back home, it's just as intense in every other area that we have to cover and take care of as a band. So yeah, we've been going at it for sure. But we've tried to do it in the healthiest way possible. And that was a very big thing in, the comment section and social media as well. Like they thought immediately exhaustion, this is like imminent burnout. And we're trying very hard not to hit that point. We've got each other. We talk to each other and really see how we're feeling and what is, of course, important. Put health first. But we're handling in our own way. That was a very specific mix of things that happened for it to get that way. And honestly, we had never lived through that before. Like Ale and I, that we just like kind of watched it happen. We were like, what is this? But Pau assured us, like, guys, honestly, I am okay. But we just have to take care of ourselves for the rest of the tour so we can just kind of finish it on a good point. And I shouldn't overdo it as well. We did end up having to cancel a few shows just to make sure that she was out of the danger zone with that flu. And she's better than ever, for sure.
Well, I am not a person that handles the heat well. And when you guys were touring this summer with Youngblood,
yes,
you came to Boston, and I got sick from overdoing it in the yard because the Boston show, it was 100 degrees.
Yes.
And I wanted so badly because literally, if it wasn't the Warning making the news, it was Youngblood making the news. Where you guys were when you announced that tour versus where both artists were by the time you got here, you're both on this stratospheric thing. And I was like, I cannot wait to go to this show. And I was so sick because 100-degree weather is not my friend.
No, yeah, it's no joke either.
So I don't understand. For me, I can't handle being in the crowd at an outdoor show in 100-degree weather. I don't understand how you guys can be on that stage playing like that.
Yeah, no, it gets very intense, but there's a lot of preparation to go into that. You know, we try to wear appropriate clothes for the weather so that we would not, get that extra heat from clothes. We drink so many electrolytes, and we call them sueritos, just to like get that hydration really, really well.
Wait, what did you call it? Sueritos?
Sueritos, yes. I don't know the direct translation in English, but it's just a high hydrating drink that it's basically just kind of like mineral water, ginger, lime, a lot of salt, maybe a little bit of honey to make it a little sweeter, but just kind of like a hydration shot like that. I think that's what it's done with. Anyway, point is that we really prepare for when we know we're about to have a hard show because of the heat. Yeah.
When you guys were on the show the first time, I noticed a couple things. First of all, we were talking about the relationship of the three of you.
Yeah.
And the unspoken kind of sibling language. And it was so funny to watch the three of you literally finishing each other's sentences and having this same thought that it was like, oh my God. And what was hilarious is that when the interview came out, first of all, with podcasting, you can see exactly where, like I've been on the radio for decades. It's really hard to figure out exactly how many people are listening and where. But with podcasting, you can see exactly where people are listening. I knew the second that interview hit your fan base because I have never had that many people in Mexico listen to my podcast. It was unbelievable. And so many of the comments were, I've never heard Ale talk so much.
Yes. That's how you know you are a very good interviewer as well. Because when Ale feels comfortable with the whole, conversation, she really lets go. So that's awesome. And it's so fun to talk to you. So you make it easy.
Well, I appreciate that. With how successful Keep Me Fed was, even though it was your fourth album, was there a renewed pressure to go back and write a fifth album and top it, especially becoming as big and successful in new countries as you became?
I feel like with the making of a new album, there's always that sort of pressure to top the one that you did before. And in this case, we looked at this album in such a different way than Keep Me Fed that we immediately thought, since we're doing such a different thing, it would probably, of course you want it to be better, but we were looking at it in a totally different light. Because with Keep Me Fed, we did not stop touring. We were writing stuff in between. We were just kind of like, with the songs that we liked, we tried to put them all in an album and make it make sense. We just kind of like went individually. And with this album, we told our management and the record label, like, hey, we really want to make time to create an album the way it's meant to be, spend time in the studio every day and just kind of like embrace the creative process. So we stopped touring for 3 months we were in the studio and just kind of like went at it at the creative process, and we had time to prepare, to come up with themes, to come up with the overall narrative and see if we liked it, if it felt good with our souls and our hearts. So from the get-go, it already felt like a more mature and taken care of product, if that makes sense. We love Keep Me Fed, but it was a chaotic process for sure. So going into making Everything's Falling was just, it felt right from the get-go.
Every band has a different process when it comes to getting into their songwriting bubble and working on a record. Because you guys toured so much, did that mean going home and working on the record at home? Or did that mean we need to get away from everyone, including the rest of our family, and go isolate somewhere else to be able to focus on the music?
Right. In this case, it meant coming home and just being there surrounded by our family, extended family, food, my bed, my shower. It's just kind of like, it made everything a lot more comfortable to be in a place where I could and we could just open ourselves up and start, seeing what we wanted to say and to express in the next album. But I think in the near future, whenever we get to make another album, we already have that experience of writing home. And as much as it is comfortable, it can get too comfortable. Like, you have a home to get back to and you already want to as well. So it can kind of have a different, how do I say?
Like a distraction?
Kind of, maybe a little. And also it tips the balancing point because now the people traveling was our producer. He spent so long away from home to create this record that we have that imbalance. It's usually us, and now it was our producer. And I feel like a very sweet point for the next album could be like everyone travels. We go seclude ourselves in a studio that nobody knows, that everyone is far away from home, and we just get to explore it and be like in it. But I don't know. Let's see what the future brings. But for this album, it really, really worked.
Was there ever a discussion, and I ask all bands that are releasing new music this question, just because the way technology has changed everything, was there ever a discussion and not doing a full-length album and just releasing EPs or singles just because of the way music is consumed by right fans now?
Yeah, actually, no. We were just like, we want to make an album. We didn't even consider that because you're totally right. It's totally a thing. Yeah, no, we wanted a full body of work for our next thing.
Most people that say, yes, they want the full body of work, one of the things they talk about is all of the other things surrounding the music, the imagery of it, the symbolism of what's in the songs, the common threads of it. And one of the things I noticed with all of the new photos of you guys and the artwork on the album, there seems to be this, I don't know how to describe it other than kind of embracing this femininity. Am I wrong in seeing that?
Not at all.
Okay.
Honestly, I think we even went a step further, and in our music, we have our new way of embracing femininity. We went full out and just kind of not being afraid to be a little bit more like girlish in some songs. And not that we were afraid before, but it's not usually the first thing you think of, rock and roll and just kind of like following that. One example that I really want to highlight is like our song Kerosene, because a lot of people were confused as to, is this the song that is going to represent what the whole album is going to sound like? And we did go a little bit more fun. We were thinking, sassier, kind of like coming of age movie intro. And that song, we specifically told ourselves when we were writing it, like, let's not think about who we are, which is a rock band, just kind of like on these stages, who our fans are, nothing. we were writing with Anton DeLoss and a songwriter called Nico Rubio. So we were already 4 women in there, and we were just talking and just figuring what our lives were at that point. And through the conversation, we just kind of like got this phrase and just kind of the concept of kerosene and spit kerosene and say things like you mean them. And we were, watching TikToks and like, what if we have a song that can have a TikTok dance, but we're a rock band? And we just kind of went on that lane of no one is going to expect this, but we can do whatever we want. And then we kind of rockified the whole theme, and we felt really, really strong in that sense. It did feel girlier than whatever we were doing before, but we embraced it, and it opened up the door into a lot more songs that we felt that we had to talk about what it was like being a woman and femininity, and just kind of like we do have more themes of that throughout the album. And it went along into our outfits, into the overall artwork, and just kind of having that visual of, because I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, but we
don't apologize. I'm interviewing you. Yeah. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say about your record.
No, and we have been embracing a lot more like colors and stuff like that, stuff that we don't feel is wrong, but we have seen feedback of like, you don't look like a rock and roll band. Because if I don't have the black eyeliner and eyeshadow and just like wear black all the time on stage, or leather, does that not make me or my music a rock and roll band? And we just kind of challenged that all the way throughout the visuals of this album.
Well, anybody that says that has not seen the video for Ego, because if they saw the video for Ego, they would not question for 1 second whether you guys were a rock band.
I know. Yeah. For that one, we did go full, just like leather.
And I love the song, and like so many that have come before it that are in another language. I should have paid closer attention in Spanish class when I was a kid. Learning a foreign language for some reason has been really hard for me. And we talked about how you guys learned English as kids, listening to music and watching the Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and like all of that kind of stuff. I went to Italy last year for my anniversary with my husband, and I grew up kind of with my relatives swearing in Italian and all of that stuff. But I did notice that being in Italy and immersing myself, that it made it easier for me. So I was like, okay, obviously, if I have to go to Mexico and spend significant time there, and then I will get that Spanish back that I should have learned in junior high school.
100% invited. We'll show you around and we'll teach you Spanish phrases.
I ask bands all the time, because if I was not feeling terrible when you were in Boston and it wasn't 100 frickin' degrees, when bands have the day off, I offer the Mistress Carrie tour of Boston to take you sightseeing in my town and show you. So if I were going to come to Monterey, where would you take me? Especially your favorite hole in the wall, like food places, because there are people listening to this that might end up there and go, oh, I heard Danny talking about that.
Oh my God. Well, it depends on what you like, but of course you have to get tacos. And I would immediately recommend a place for morning tacos, then afternoon, and then dinner. They're different things. Because you can get morning tacos are the best. I will recommend Tacos Don Pancho. It's just a staple. I love them. And for maybe lunch and dinner, I just went to Tacos Atalantados yesterday, and they're so good. Especially, they have this dish that is like French fries with a good salsa with a lot of lime and meat on it. It's just so good. I did not do it justice by describing it right now, but it's so good. And places, you have to see the mountains for sure. Monterrey is a very big mountain place. So going to La Huasteca and just seeing the humongous and beautiful mountains that you can just like literally drive into, they're the best. I really love La Huasteca.
When I really started moving forward in my radio career, my mom got a kick out of being Mistress Carrie's mom. And going to shows, and she would be like, can you get me backstage passes? And loved meeting the bands. And like, I introduced my mom to Dimebag Darrell from Pantera back in the day. And like, she was like, do I call you Dime or Mr. Bag? And he was like, you can call me whatever you want, Mistress Carrie's mama. Like, my mom got this joy out of my career.
Yes.
How have your parents and family handled being the family of the warning? Because they're getting it ×3.
For sure. No, I have no idea how they've done it, because now like people who they haven't talked in 20 years would message them and be like, hey, do you remember me from high school? Your daughters are great. Can we get a signed t-shirt?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But no, they live it with us as well. We're just learning as a family how to handle, being recognized on the street and just being admired for what we do and having fans and stuff like that. They've handled it really, really well. My mom is going to hate me, but I'm going to say this. She's like, sometimes it's weird to handle all this attention, but at the same time, I've never been closer or being able to achieve to meet my idol, Jack Black, than ever before. You guys are going to be the ones who are going to make me have that interaction at one point in life. I'm sure of it. And I'm like, okay,
wait, Jack Black, out of anyone famous that you could introduce to your mom, it's Jack Black?
She's interested in Jack Black. Yes. No, she's such a fan. She's such a fan of his, his attitude and his, acting gigs, of course. And he's a musician too, like you guys. We've been in the same festivals as Tenacious D before, and it hasn't happened. But she's like, I know at one point it will happen.
I always ask, because you guys are playing Louder Than Life later this year.
Yes.
And the experience of playing a festival, one of the cool things is that you get the pass, that you're an artist, which means that you're in catering and you're mingling around the tour buses. So as a fan, because obviously it hasn't been Jack Black and Tenacious D, but who have you gotten to meet at a festival that you were like, I can't believe that not only am I meeting them, but I'm meeting them in a way where I'm their peer, artist to artist?
Right. Well, actually, funny story, since you've mentioned Youngblood, that we were touring with him this year. We actually met him at an aftershock like years before. And it was so surreal that he just got off stage and he was talking with us. He had a cut in his knees because he rocked and rolled too hard. And we were just asking about his knee, and we had a short conversation. I was like, I can't believe I just had that conversation with him in a totally chill way backstage, for sure. And it happens a lot. But I will tell you this, me and my sisters are very, very shy. And especially in that context of just being backstage, we kind of want to respect everyone's spaces and not being just kind of like, hey. Sometimes we will just feel the vibe out and kind of like talk to each other. We've had that similar experience with everyone in Turnstile. They're so nice, and we've bumped into them quite a few times. And every time we bumped into them, we get a little bit more conversation in, because we're just kind of like, we don't want to intrude. So we need to get better at that backstage thing, because we usually kind of just not want to get into anyone's space.
I think if anybody that's ever seen The Warning live would think it's hilarious that you guys are as shy as you are. And what I've noticed in my career is that when bands would come into the radio studio and it was just me, or it was me and a couple people, But as soon as the microphones got turned on and the red lights were on, it's unreal how quiet someone that 4 hours from now is going to be on a stage in front of 20,000 people without a shy bone in their body. You don't come across as a shy person when you're on stage.
Yeah, no, totally, for sure. But we are, and especially in stuff where I'm not going to say out of our comfort zone, but what we are is musicians, right? Like on a stage, we know, we rehearse, that's what we do. It's what we know how to do best. And now I have 10 years of experience giving interviews. But when I started, it's like, well, this is not what I am, rehearsing or used to doing. This is totally a different area of my job that I didn't know I had to, kind of bring it on, So even talking on stage is like, I know how to play guitar, I know how to sing, but then I was like, oh, I have to address everyone and welcome them. That has been, a learning experience as well. But for sure, I was that kid in class who you would put up in front to read out a chapter of a book, and I would be like shaking. It wasn't my thing. But hey, now I play and sing in front of thousands of people, which is crazy to think about. Oh my God.
And you're also coming up in a time where, back when Led Zeppelin broke, there was photographers and like Rolling Stone reporters that you had to sit down in front of. And the only time your fans really got to see you was on stage.
Right.
And
not anymore.
Not anymore. So there's the pressure of social media and the internet. Then there's the pressure of being females in rock, but also
in general, yes.
In general, and that people are going to have more comments about your appearance. And like, it cracks me up when I put pictures up on social media, and because I've been on the radio for so long, people will be like, oh, you're getting old. And it's like, no shit. Like,
it happens. It's a thing.
I've been on the radio almost 30 years. Like, do you think I'm going to look 25? Like, can you math? Of course I'm not going to look the way I did 25 years ago. No. I guarantee you, balding fat guy, don't look the way you looked 25 years ago either.
Of course.
But that whole extra level of pressure, do you guys talk about that amongst yourselves? About, like, I'm assuming behind closed doors when you guys are wardrobe fitting that your sisters can say to you, that doesn't look good.
Yeah. Sure. No, of course, all the time. We look out for each other in that way. But you are totally right in the sense of it's very different nowadays with social media. Every interaction, not only is everything going to be, it's more part of our lives that are being shared, but they stay there forever as well. We have time to rewind, analyze, zoom in, zoom out, just kind of like even isolate background conversations that had nothing to do with you, but you're there. Everything can be overly, like analyzed. Yeah. So of course it's a thing that, can happen in your life, and you've seen the consequences of it happening even once. You're like, oh, I have no idea. I had to, be aware of that, and just kind of, and a big thing with us is that a lot of our fan base saw us grow up, and that has been a challenge, not only for us, but for them as well, to realize that we are women. Like, I was going to ask that about your adult.
I was going to ask about how your mom is handling the fact that you guys are sex symbols now, because you're older and you're embracing that femininity. And now all of a sudden her little girls are not little girls anymore.
Of course. No. And even for our fan base to hear us talk about whatever would be considered an adult conversation, or even just say a curse word now and then, it's just kind of like, what do you mean? Like, girl, I'm 26 years old. I'm almost in my 30s. Come on. but they saw me as a 15-year-old. That's how everything started. So of course it's a conversation that we've had and we've noticed between us sisters of like, what's the limit of what we can, like, we can't limit ourselves to those expectations or whatever, or take care of that young innocence, because we did have it and now we're
you're grown up. You're allowed to grow up.
Exactly. So, and growing up, apparently it's not a good thing in general for women, I guess.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. There's also that pressure when you're on stage if you make a mistake because everybody's videoing you and you can't get away from it. But the pressure is even worse when you're filming it yourself for a concert film. Tell me what that process was like for you.
Oh my God, no. We had so much fun those shows, but of course the pressure was high level. It was the biggest show of our career that we've ever done before. And of course we're a growing band and we're still learning. And we realized that we needed so much more time that we gave it into, preparing a show like that. We were so nervous because there's songs that we didn't even rehearse with everything on. We were just like, okay, let's just do our thing, see what happens. And of course it's being recorded.
In high def.
Yes, in high def, to be in movie theaters around the world later on in the year. So you're just like, oh my God, that's okay. But it went out great. Every single person that worked on this project is amazing. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of them because, oh my God, we have a concert film. And I saw myself in the big screen while eating popcorn, which is crazy. It had never even crossed my mind that I would be able to see myself in a movie theater. That's crazy.
Every touring band has their Spinal Tap moment. Obviously, a scary thing is what happened to Pau when she fainted on stage. But let's talk about funny things, right? Things are going to go wrong on stage.
Yes, for sure.
So to you, like, did something get kicked unplugged? Did you fall down in your heels? Like, what has happened to you on stage? And you're just like, I can't, it was bound to happen.
Of course. No, I just recently, we were over in Europe. I believe we were in Sweden when I just super confidently walked on stage. First song, I'm not even playing guitar. I'm just singing. I'm saying hi to everyone. And I'm singing, and I did not see that there was a whole step in the stage. And I just kind of went like, whoop. I did not fall down, but my singing just kind of went like, and I just stopped singing the lyric. And I was like, oh, there's a step there. I just kind of said to myself, and everyone's just like, okay. And then I just continued singing. But of course, stuff like that happens. We're only human. My voice will get cracks as well sometimes, in very, very funny ways. But I have just build up the habit of laughing it off, because what else can you do?
When you were on the show before, we were talking about how you were touring in places and the reaction of having fans in other countries sing the Spanish songs back to you, because you guys are carrying on the tradition of having a Spanish language song on every album, which is Ego the only one on this upcoming record?
Yes, we actually wanted to make more, but we really felt strongly about this song. It was like, I think more Spanish songs are going to be later on. But of course, there had to be at least one. And we loved Ego so much that I think it's officially the heaviest song in Spanish that we've ever made. So we're very proud of it.
The idea of growing up and starting a band with your sisters, you told me that originally the plan to be in a band together wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Because I had all three of you on the show last time, I didn't get to focus on your individual kind of instruments as much. So tell me about your first guitar And the first guitar riff you ever mastered where you were like, oh my God, I can't believe I played that.
Yes. Okay. So my very first guitar was a tiny Taylor acoustic because I started on acoustic guitar. But my first electric guitar, actually, I had an Ibanez hollow, like semi-hollow guitar that was way too big for me. So very early on, I switched to a Stratocaster. And that was the initial, guitar for me in my journey. And the first riff, of course, I had to go directly into Sweet Child of Mine because why not? Oh my God. I would spend hours just playing the same thing over and over and over again until I mastered it. I remember just like recording myself and being like, Dad, I got it finally. But only I would start with like the hardest thing for a beginner. Oh my God. But yeah.
Do you still have your first guitar?
I do have the
so many guitarists don't, and they're heartbroken.
It's like why?
Yeah. It's like they long to be reunited with this lost sibling that they're so sad they don't have anymore.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't have the Ibanez because I didn't really spend that much time with it. But the Strat and the Tiny Taylor, I do have. I have mostly all the guitars I've ever had. I keep them with me.
When bands spend as much time touring across the U.S., especially bands that are not from the U.S., one of the things they always remark about is like the size of the giant truck stops in the middle of nowhere when you're a touring band. And so I always ask everybody, what's the craziest thing you've ever bought in there? Because some of those truck stops have insane things.
No, of course. We would go into like, one of our favorite truck stops are Buc-ee's. We love a good Buc-ee's, and everything is Buc-ee's themed. You can get Buc-ee's underwear, Buc-ee's dinner plates, Buc-ee's, like everything. We all have matching Buc-ee pajamas as a band because we were just like, this is going to be our bonding experience. We're going to get Buc-ee's pajamas. But no, of course, touring in the U.S. is definitely what's the phrase? Oh, no, it's a Texas phrase. Like everything's bigger in Texas. Is that a thing?
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas. Yeah.
For sure. Well, the Buc-ee's is like a whole freaking mall of a gas station. So yes.
Well, the album comes out on August 28th. It's called Everything's Falling. I know you guys, obviously, you're getting ready to go to South Korea. Yes. But you're going to be back for Louder Than Life. The album comes out at the end of the month. So tell me kind of what the plans are for the end of this year and next year, because I know you guys are not going to be relaxing anytime soon.
Nope, not at all. We have so much content to to produce for everything that is going to be the album. We have a lot of things that are surprises that I cannot share just yet.
Oh, come on!
But I know, but it's going to be so fun. You just have to trust me. But yes, we're doing South Korea. We're doing Japan. We come back for Louder Than Life, and we're also visiting Albuquerque. We are going to LA as well. We have 3 sold out shows in the Fonda, which we're very excited. We have never played there at that venue. And those 3 shows, are at the beginning of September. So the new music is out now. We are going to be able to play it live and see how it feels. So we're excited to share that with everyone in LA. And we're going to be promoting the hell out of the album. So you'll see us on socials for sure in different interviews and stuff like that.
So if people missed you on the Youngblood tour, you're going to be back around in 2027 supporting the new album.
For sure. We are planning a whole tour worldwide for this album that we love so much, so we can take it everywhere that we've been and new places as well. So we do have a very grueling 2027 schedule ahead of us for sure.
Well, that makes me feel better because I was so sick from the heat when you were in Boston with Youngblood that I missed you and I was really bummed out. So hopefully this next tour is going to get scheduled through the Northeast again. And the offer stands. If you get a day off on the tour, the Mistress Carrie Tour of Boston, I will take you guys out and show you my town. And I will take you up on those Monterey tacos if I ever make it down there.
Of course. That sounds like a plan. Hopefully, if we get to Boston, we'll pick an indoor venue if it's very hot outside.
Well, please tell Pau and Ale that I said hi. Congratulations on everything that's happened with the band since the last time I saw you. And I cannot wait to hear the rest of this album. Everything I've heard off of it so far is so great. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you in Boston next year.
It was nice to see you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
There she is, Daniela Villarreal Velez, the singer and guitarist from The Warning. The band's new album, Everything's Falling, comes out this Friday. If you want to hear songs from the upcoming album, you can check out this episode's corresponding playlist. I make a playlist for every full-length episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast that features all of my guest music and all the artists and songs that we referenced in the interview. You'll find it linked in the show notes of this episode, alongside all the links to find The Warning and all the Mistress Carrie links too. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday, plus every weekday you get the Sit Rep. The Situation Report breaks down all of your rock news, music headlines, and entertainment updates in about 5 minutes. And you never know when we're going to release a bonus episode. Join me live every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern on my official Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube for my weekly live streaming video show, Cocktails in the War Room. And you can always find me on the radio. Get the details on all of that and more at mistresscarrie.com. The Mistress Carrie Podcast, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network.